The tide is already retreating when the day begins. Wet sand stretches toward the horizon beneath a sky so wide it feels endless. A lone fishing boat rocks gently in a quiet harbor. Seals rest on distant sandbanks. Rows of colorful beach huts stand against dunes shaped by centuries of wind and sea. Then the coastline changes. Salt marshes glow gold beneath the morning sun. Victorian piers reach out into grey-blue water. Hidden villages sit quietly behind seawalls and winding country lanes. This is not the dramatic coastline of Cornwall, not the rugged cliffs of Scotland. Norfolk is different. Slower, softer. A landscape built from open skies, shifting tides, fishing traditions, wildlife, and quiet beauty. And over the next 7 days, we'll discover why this coastline remains one of Britain's most overlooked escapes.
We'll guide you day by day, what to do, what to eat, travel tips, and where to stay.
Arrival into Cromer feels like stepping into a classic British seaside postcard. The town sits high above the North Sea, its Victorian buildings overlooking the coastline below. Start your morning with a walk along Cromer Pier. The wooden boards creak softly beneath your feet, while fishing boats move slowly beyond the harbour. The sea air feels sharp and fresh. Waves roll steadily beneath the structure while gulls circle overhead. By late morning, explore the town itself. Narrow streets lead between independent shops, bakeries, and cafes that have served visitors for generations. Cromer feels proud of its seaside heritage. It doesn't try to modernize everything. That's part of its charm. By midday, walk down toward the beach. The wide stretch of sand feels surprisingly peaceful outside the busiest summer weeks. Rock pools appear at low tide while families stroll along the shoreline. Then comes one of the essential Cromer experiences. Fresh fish and chips beside the sea. Simple, traditional, exactly where they belong. By afternoon, continue along sections of the coastal path. The cliffs provide elevated views across the North Sea while the town slowly fades behind you. As evening arrives, return to the seafront. The sky often becomes the main attraction. Huge clouds catch the final light, while the sea reflects changing colors beneath the pier. The first day ends with Norfolk's greatest strength already becoming clear. Space, light, and room to breathe.
Cromer is famous throughout Britain for its Cromer crab, considered some of the finest crab caught anywhere in UK waters. Fresh fish and chips range from 12 to 20 pounds, while local Cromer crab dishes often cost between 15 and 30 pounds. Check tide times before exploring beaches and rock pools. The coastline changes dramatically throughout the day. Seafront hotels and guest houses range from 120 to 250 pounds per night.
Today's journey follows one of the most beautiful stretches of the Norfolk coastline. Arriving in Wells next the sea, the atmosphere changes immediately. The harbour becomes the centre of everything. Fishing boats rest beside colourful buildings while narrow streets lead toward cafes and small independent shops. Start your morning walking along the quayside. The town feels connected to the sea in every direction. Generations of fishing, trade, and maritime life shaped this place. Even today, the harbour remains at the heart of local life. By late morning, begin the walk toward the beach. The route passes through beautiful pine woods, where sunlight filters through tall trees, and the sound of the harbour slowly fades away. The transition feels almost cinematic, forest giving way to coastline. Then the famous beach appears. Rows of colourful beach huts stretch across the sand, beneath enormous Norfolk skies. The beach feels vast, open, almost untouched. By midday, walk the shoreline itself. The sound of the sea remains constant while dunes rise behind you. This part of Norfolk feels wonderfully disconnected from modern life. By afternoon, return to town and settle into one of the waterfront cafes overlooking the harbour. Fishing boats come and go while visitors sit watching the tide reshape the landscape once again. As evening arrives, the harbour becomes quieter. The day's movement slows with the tide itself.
Wells next the sea was once one of Norfolk's most important medieval ports. Seafood lunches and harbour cafes range from £15 to £30. The walk from town to the beach is longer than many visitors expect, but it's one of the highlights of the day. Harbour cottages and boutique stays range from £150 to £300 per night.
Some beaches feel busy, some feel beautiful. Holkham Beach feels cinematic. Arrival begins quietly. The path crosses pine woods and dunes before gradually revealing one of the largest stretches of sand anywhere in Britain. The first impression is scale. The beach seems endless. Sky and sand merge together across enormous open space. Start your morning walking toward the shoreline. The distance itself becomes part of the experience. Every step reveals more of the landscape. Dunes rolling across the horizon. Shallow tidal pools reflecting the sky. Birdlife moving through the nature reserve surrounding the beach. By late morning, explore sections of Holkham National Nature Reserve. This protected landscape supports a huge variety of wildlife, particularly migratory birds. The coastline here feels wild despite being relatively accessible. By midday, simply enjoy the openness. This is one of those places where doing less becomes part of the experience. Walk, pause, watch the changing light. By afternoon, continue exploring the dunes and quieter areas away from the main access points. The silence becomes noticeable. Only wind, birds, and distant waves. As evening approaches, Holkham becomes even more dramatic. The low sun transforms the sand into gold, while shadows stretch across the dunes. This feels less like England, and more like a landscape from another continent.
Holkham Beach has appeared in numerous films and television productions, thanks to its huge, untouched appearance. Beach cafes and local lunches range from £10 to £25. Bring water and layers. The beach is exposed, and weather conditions can change quickly. Countryside inns nearby range from £120 to £250 per night.
The morning begins with calm water. Arriving in Blakeney, the landscape feels completely different from the wide beaches of Holkham. Here, the coastline becomes a maze of creeks, salt marshes, mudflats, and tidal channels. Everything moves with the tide. Fishing boats sit tilted on the mud at low water before floating again as the sea returns. Start your morning walking along the quayside. The village itself feels timeless. Brick cottages line narrow streets while the harbour quietly reflects centuries of maritime history. Blakeney was once an important medieval trading port. Today its pace feels wonderfully slow. By late morning, board a small boat heading out toward Blakeney Point. The journey itself becomes part of the experience. The boat moves through winding tidal channels surrounded by salt marshes, alive with bird life. The landscape feels constantly in motion. Then the seals appear. At first, just a few shapes resting on distant sandbanks. Then dozens, sometimes hundreds. Grey seals and common seals lie scattered across the shoreline, while curious younger seals occasionally lift their heads to watch the passing boats. The atmosphere feels peaceful, respectful. You're visiting their world rather than the other way around. By afternoon, return to Blakeney and spend time exploring the surrounding coastal paths. The views stretch across marshland toward the sea, while birds drift above the wetlands. This is one of the most important wildlife areas on the entire Norfolk coast. As evening approaches, the marshes begin glowing beneath golden light. The sea retreats again, and the entire landscape changes shape once more.
Blakeney Point is home to England's largest grey seal colony, with thousands of pups born here each year. Fresh seafood platters and coastal pub meals range from £15 to £35. Seal trips are weather dependent, so booking flexibility is always useful. Blakeney guest houses and coastal cottages range from £150 to £300 per night.
Today leaves the immediate coastline behind, but only briefly. The road winds inland through open countryside, passing fields, farmhouses and quiet lanes lined with hedgerows. Arrival into Burnham Market feels different again, elegant, refined. The village has become one of Norfolk's most sought-after destinations, yet it still retains its rural character. Start your morning exploring the village centre. Independent boutiques, bookshops, galleries and cafes surround the historic green. Everything feels carefully preserved, without feeling artificial. People arrive slowly. Conversations drift from outdoor tables. The pace remains gentle. By late morning, continue exploring nearby villages along the North Norfolk coast. Each has its own personality. Some centered around village greens, others built around old churches, inns and historic market squares. The transition between locations feels seamless. The countryside connects everything. By midday, stop at a traditional country pub. This part of Norfolk feels deeply tied to agriculture, farming and local produce. The food reflects that connection. Fresh ingredients, seasonal menus. Simple dishes done exceptionally well. By afternoon, continue driving quiet country lanes. The journey itself becomes the attraction. Fields stretch toward distant church towers, while narrow roads reveal hidden corners of rural England rarely seen by international visitors. As evening approaches, settle into one of the village pubs or restaurants. Warm lighting spills onto quiet streets, while the countryside slowly darkens around you.
The Burnham villages date back centuries and were historically linked to farming, fishing and coastal trade. Traditional pub meals range from £15 to £30. Many village businesses close earlier than city centres, so plan accordingly. Boutique village stays range from £150 to £350 per night.
Today introduces one of Norfolk's most unusual features, a west-facing coastline. Most of England's east coast looks towards sunrise, but Hunstanton faces the opposite direction. And that changes everything. Arrival begins beneath the town's famous striped cliffs. Layers of red and white rock rise above the beach, creating one of the most distinctive coastal landscapes in Britain. Start your morning walking beneath the cliffs. The geology tells a story stretching back millions of years. Every layer reveals a different chapter of ancient history. By late morning, continue along the coastal paths. Wide sea views open toward the wash, while seabirds move constantly above the shoreline. The atmosphere feels more dramatic than the gentler beaches visited earlier in the week. By midday, explore the town itself. Hunstanton has been a seaside destination since Victorian times. Its promenade, gardens and seafront still carry echoes of that era. Then spend the afternoon following sections of the coastal path toward quieter viewpoints beyond the main town. The sea dominates everything here. The sky feels enormous. The horizon almost disappears. As evening approaches, the main event begins. Hunstanton becomes one of the best sunset locations anywhere in England. The sky slowly fills with color: orange, pink, gold. The sea reflects everything, and the coastline glows beneath the final light of the day. It's a spectacular ending to the final full day on the Norfolk coast.
Hunstanton is one of the very few places on England's east coast where you can watch the sun set over the sea. Seaside restaurants and seafood dinners range from £15 to £35. Check sunset times in advance. They're one of Hunstanton's biggest attractions. Seafront hotels range from £120 to £300 per night.
The final morning arrives quietly. No major destination remains, no schedule to follow. Just one last opportunity to experience the coast at its natural pace. Begin with a walk along the beach. Early morning light spreads across wet sand while the tide slowly moves across the shoreline. The coast feels almost empty. Only distant footprints, the sound of waves, and the occasional call of seabirds overhead. This final day becomes about reflection. Over 7 days, Norfolk revealed itself gradually. Not through dramatic mountains or famous landmarks, but through atmosphere, open skies, changing tides, quiet villages, wildlife-rich marshes, endless beaches, and a pace of life that feels increasingly rare. Stop for one final coffee overlooking the sea. Watch boats moving through the harbour. Watch people beginning their day. Notice how naturally everything seems connected to the landscape around it. The sea shapes life here. It always has. By midday, the departure begins. Roads turn inland. The coastline slowly disappears behind you. But the feeling remains. A reminder that sometimes the most memorable journeys aren't the loudest. They're the quietest.
The Norfolk Coast contains some of the largest protected coastal landscapes in England, supporting internationally important wildlife habitats. A final breakfast or coastal cafe stop ranges from £10 to £20. Always check tide times throughout Norfolk. They shape many activities and access routes. Final coastal stays range from £120 to £300 per night.
From windswept beaches to colourful harbours, from seal colonies and salt marshes to quiet villages and endless skies. The Norfolk coast never tries to impress you loudly. That's what makes it special. Its beauty arrives gradually, in the changing light, the movement of the tides, the silence between places. And after 7 days here, you begin to understand why so many people return again and again. Not searching for excitement, but searching for calm, for space, for a coastline that still feels wonderfully untouched. One of Britain's hidden escapes, and one of its most rewarding.
And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like and subscribe to Traveller's Treasure Globe for more travel documentaries from around the world.